So, you are here a bit more power, right?
Yes, I would like a change. I want to possess more power for the ones I love and care for.
Very well. It seems like you want that power to avenge your family.
That Flareon and Vaporeon, they hurt my family because of Fluffy's coordinates. I want payback.
I see. Well then, you shall receive the power.
Oh, was this a nightmare? It felt so real. Almost as if I got turned into a Berserker Pokemon in another dimension. Why does it feel like every nightmare I've had recently is actually true?
Hey, Speedy. Just woke up from a nap, I see.
Hey, Silvia. What's up?
Oh, good news, Speedy. Sunshine will temporarily not be going to school.
Why?
Oh, that's because of the Berserker Pokemon in the town recently.
Silvia, that's not good news.
Hey, at least Sunshine doesn't have to go to school. School sucks anyway. I remember that most of my classes were boring, and I had a lot of homework. Only a nerd likes homework.
Silvia, now that we have Berserker Pokemon around the place, you need to be extra careful. Make sure that Sunshine is right beside you at all times.
Of course, Speedy. I'll be a good mom, but dang. Why are the Berserker Pokemon in the first place? It's so annoying.
Well, it's quite a long story. Once upon a time, there were 3 Eevees living peacefully in a treehouse. Unfortunately, one day, things took an unexpected turn. A Feraligatr broke into their treehouse. It ate 2 of the Eevees, but luckily one of them managed to get away. Let's call the Eevee Alan. Without any relatives by his side, Alan moved to a nearby town and decided to settle down and study there.
Wait, where were his parents?
His parents were gone before he was hatched.
Man, that sounds horrible.
However, Alan always got bullied by Pokemon because he was a loner.
Damn. Well, he shouldn't go to school then.
Actually,
Nerd. Sorry. You can move on.
he was also looked down upon by the townsfolk there. Many Pokemon thought that he was an outlaw, but one day, he met a wonderful female Eevee. Let's just call her Stella. At the time, Stella was being bullied by several Pokemon. However, Alan decided to step in and chase away the bullies before Stella was hurt.
Wow. What a Chad.
Heh, this is how Alan and Stella became friends actually, and eventually lovers. By the time they were lovers, Alan had already evolved into a Jolteon, whilst Stella evolved into a Sylveon. Stella also laid an egg. Unfortunately, before the egg hatched, Stella was killed by a wild Pokemon. Later, a female Eevee hatched from the egg. What should we name that Eevee?
Oh, I know. Sunshine. It seems like the perfect name for this.
Okay then. When Sunshine was 5, she snuck out of her house and went into Wish Cave. She was hoping to find Jirachi in the cave. Unfortunately, she was killed by the Pokemon in the dungeon. Alan went into Wish Cave to try finding her, but it was too late. She was already dead when he found Sunshine. All of these events caused Alan to break down. He kept crying and weeping. At last, he yelled, "I wish none of this ever happened in the first place." Coincidentally, Jirachi was nearby as he yelled. Jirachi mistakenly thought it was Alan's wish, so Jirachi granted it. Because of this wish, Sunshine was never born. Alan never met Stella, and everything restarted. The whole world reset. However, a new horror would arise as a result. The Berserker virus. The poor soul of dead Sunshine was turned into countless pieces, each piece representing a single individual of the Berserker virus. Those Berserker viruses were powered by Alan's extreme negative emotions. You know, I remember Flare said something about Fluffy. Fluffy mentioned about the Berserker viruses all having the same father, but they don't know who he is. I think the father here is Alan because he made that wish, and Jirachi is their god because he granted the wish. Anyways, because of the virus, the world that was previously reset had been destroyed again. This world has already been reset multiple times because of this.
But if the world was reset, wouldn't the Berserker virus be gone as well?
It's not as simple as you think, Silvia. There's this phenomenon known as the cycle of rebirth. The cycle of rebirth is a recreation of the same world over and over again because of the invasion of the Berserker virus. This means the world is reset many times. The Pokemon and events in each timeline may differ from one another, but all of them share the same fate, the destruction of the world. The Berserker virus, on the other hand, can be reborn endlessly because of the memory path. The memory path is a dimension created from what was left of the original timeline and held on to the memories of the existence of that world. Each of the new timelines that were created from the result of its destruction was all tied to it via some sort of path. hence the name. The memory path also served as a home dimension to Berserker viruses. Due to the connection this dimension had to its successor timelines, the Berserker viruses were able to use that link to invade those worlds.
Wow, this lore is so deep. I'm struggling to keep up with it all.
Yeah, I even need to catch a breath. There's a lot of bullcrap that exists because of one damn virus. You should take a rest, Silvia.
Alright, you too, Speedy. I'm gonna go back to my room.
I wonder how Flair and Chris are doing. Are they alright?
Yo, Speedy, long time no see.
Frost? But I thought...
Well, it's a long story.
What the hell? Why is there so much blood?
Wait, Pearl? Black? What are you doing down here? Who is that Glaceon beside you?
We will explain later. We need to get out of here ASAP. Darkrai will be back here any moment.
Okay, follow me. There's our portal. Pass through this portal and we will return back home.
Okay, what the f happened to you guys?
Well, it's kinda awkward, but Black and I were captured because I let the wrong Pokemon in.
What do you mean by wrong Pokemon?
Darkrai. He illusioned himself to look like Black. I let him in only because I thought it was Black.
And that was the biggest mistake.
Dang, that's unlucky.
Wait, Mr. Glaceon? May I ask who you are?
Oh, I'm Frost, Black's brother.
Wait, Blackie, I didn't know you have a bro.
Well, now you do. Good job.
So what happened to you, Frost?
I was trying to find an antidote for the Berserker virus in an abandoned lab, but I was poking up by Darkrai.
Oh, there's no antidote for that, Frost.
Huh? What?
But we have a solution.
Hold on, are you sure this will work?
Trust us. On Arceus, it will work.
Alright, let's discuss this in your treehouse.
You all can go without me. I received a message from Alt Chris.
Alright, be careful, Flair.
I will.
Okay, let me get this straight. You woke up in a forest magically and you don't remember anything?
And I met a Phantom, stayed at her home for a few months. Unfortunately, she went missing one day and I couldn't find her. So I sought out help from the other rescuers. After that, I just ended up working as one.
So, how do you remember us?
Oh, about that, it was so awkward. There was one time when I stepped on a rock and tripped. Then my head got smashed against the ground.
Then you remembered everything?
Well, not everything. But hey, at least I can remember some of my best buddies.
Well, take your time, Frost. I'm sure you'll remember the rest after some time.
I hope so.
Anyways, let me find a room for you to stay.
Or we can just do a sleepover in your room. That would be fun.
Oh, sounds great then. I'll go prepare a mattress for you.
Hey, what's wrong? You look worried.
Flair, this is so bad. All of my friends and family, they've turned into Berserker Pokemon.
What?